We have done the mark and measure course, stage 1, and we were blown away with what we learnt out of that. It was at the stage where we'd gone from farm workers to share milkers, so our equity had increased phenomenally within the time frame. And it sort of blew us away how quickly that one step in the industry can increase your equity. When we come back from overseas, we went and worked on Paul's parents' farm, and we started having a family, and we started building up a herd. We had a few cows, and we just kept the replacements out of them. So we started building up a herd, and then we got a share milker's job where we had to borrow some money and purchase some cows, and that's where our equity increased phenomenally. You had to take a big debt on, but it pays off in the long run. The major equity growth that we've found is by owning livestock. Those cows will produce a calf every year as long as you get them back in calf. It's not like a cow that will sit there and continue to rust away. So you're building up, you become asset rich and cash flow poor. Hi, I'm Jill Crawford. I'm a bit uncomfortable doing this. I'm not very keen on being in the public eye, but I understand I've got a story to tell. I've been dairying for the last 20 years. I left school because I was unhappy in the 7th form, and I had to leave school with a job. I got on a course and I got the toss-up, and it was a dairying course, and I got a toss-up between 2 jobs. I took one of them, and it was a dairying job on 500 cows. I did that for a season, and then I went to a 700 cow herd on the Waitaki, and then I went down to the Tairi onto a town supply farm. And then when I was on the Waitaki, I started doing my trade certificate in agriculture, so I was still getting educated in what I was doing. That's the trade cert that I got. It's through Ag ITO now. It used to be through Aoraki Polytech. The first couple of certificates I got through the course, and then I ended up finishing it with a diploma in agriculture after about 8 years of training. While you're working, you can still train, and one of the training providers are Ag ITO, and you can get all the way through to the diploma instead of having to go to Massey and spend all your time in a classroom or Lincoln. You can still work on farm, and once a week or once a fortnight, depending on the course, you can train and still get a diploma out of it. When I come down to the Tairi, I went to a town supply farm and found it totally different to a factory supply which I had been working on. While I was on that town supply farm, I met my husband. He was on a farm down the road. We got married within 18 months, and then we went down south and as a married couple and worked on a farm down there. We both complemented each other with our strengths and our weaknesses. We then went up to Winchester and worked on a dairy farm up there for 2 years, and I had an itch to go overseas, so we stopped. We either had to start building a herd or go overseas at that point. We went overseas for 16 months, had a really good time. Because I started on the dairy farm as a farm hand, and now I'm on the other side where I'm a farm owner, equity manager, you are forced with a whole lot of new stuff like finances and everything else, and you still have to educate yourself so that you can understand that financial side of things more. Doing cash manager courses and other budgeting advice seminars and stuff. My passion is cows. We love our cows. We're most happiest when we're standing around and got 500 cows floating around us. And to see them increase genetically is awesome. We're on sire proving scheme, so our genetics are increasing each year, and we're just waiting for the potential, because it's a new farm, we're waiting for the genetic game to be realised into the vat, which hopefully will be in the next 2 years. When you start to have children, your life doesn't have to stop in the dairy industry. You do take a back seat a wee bit, because it's not physically possible to do everything. But family is very, very important, and family values are very important, and to be able to combine the two is awesome. There's nothing better than during calving time say, oh, look at that silly calf, to a wee kid who enjoys that pleasure too. And this last season, with my youngest going to school, I kept on turning and there was no one there to be able to share that event with, and it was quite an empty feeling. But you have other events that you can share. What we have found through dairying, that for us to keep improving, we need to keep surrounding ourselves with people that are going to keep pulling us up. And at the moment we're in an equity partnership with people that have got amazing amount of knowledge of the dairy industry, and you just feel so empowered when you're with them. What we wish to do for the younger people coming through is to pass that empowerment on to them as well.